The city shimmered under a soft golden sunrise. Skyscrapers glowed like blades of light, while the streets buzzed with morning chaos, honking horns, chatter, and the smell of fresh bread drifting from a nearby cafe. Amid the rush, an old yellow taxi crawled through the lane, its engine coughing, its paint fading, its mirror held together with tape. Inside sat Imran, a gray-haired driver in his late 50s. His eyes were tired, but kind. The kind of eyes that had seen struggle, but still believed in goodness. A photo of his son hung near the dashboard, slightly faded, yet full of pride. Imran hummed softly to himself, fingers tapping the steering wheel. To him, this wasn't just a car. It was his lifeline, his companion through years of storms and survival, character introduction. That morning, his passenger request buzzed through the phone. "Pick up, Grand City Hotel." When Imran arrived, a man in an expensive navy blue suit stepped out, tall, proud, and surrounded by the aura of wealth. His name was Mr. Raymond Hart, a billionaire investor in town for a luxury summit. His watch alone could buy 10 taxis. He frowned at the old cab. "Is this the car?" he muttered with a smirk. "Looks like it's held together with hope." Imran smiled gently. "Yes, sir. She's old, but she'll get you where you need to go." Raymond chuckled, sliding into the back seat with reluctance. "I doubt that." As they drove, the city blurred past. Street vendors setting up stalls, school children laughing, the heartbeat of everyday life. Raymond scrolled on his phone, unimpressed by everything around him. Halfway through the ride, the car made a small sputtering sound. Raymond sighed dramatically. "God, this junk should be in a museum," he sneered. "Do you even make enough to survive, old man?" Imran's hands tightened on the steering wheel. "I make enough to be grateful, sir," he said softly. Raymond laughed in a cold, hollow sound. "Grateful? That's a poor man's excuse for failure." Imran said nothing. He had heard worse before, but his heart ached. Not for himself, but for people like him who were always mocked for being less. At a red light, a group of young people recognized Raymond and started waving. He rolled down the window, basking in their admiration. "Work hard, and maybe one day you won't end up like this guy," he told them, pointing at Imran. The laughter that followed echoed painfully inside the taxi. Imran looked straight ahead. His son's photo swayed gently. And if you believe no one deserves to be humiliated for their struggle, take a second to like this video and subscribe to Kindness Valley, where every heart still matters. Minutes later, they pulled up in front of the Grand Convention Center. Dozens of reporters, photographers, and cameras filled the plaza. Raymond stepped out, fixing his suit, ready for attention. "Keep the change," he said arrogantly, tossing a few bills onto the seat. "Buy some paint for your car. Maybe next time it'll look less pathetic." Imran nodded quietly and drove away. But before Raymond could step onto the red carpet, a black limousine pulled up. Out stepped a young man in a tailored suit, confident, humble, and immediately surrounded by media. "Ladies and gentlemen," the host announced, "please welcome Dr. Ayan Imran, the youngest award-winning heart surgeon in the country, and guest of honor for today's event." The billionaire froze. "That name," Imran Ayan smiled, shaking hands with dignitaries. Then his gaze caught the old taxi leaving in the distance. His expression changed. He turned to the cameras and said, "Before this event begins, I need to thank someone very important. My father, the man who taught me that humility is worth more than gold." The crowd turned as the old taxi stopped. Imran stepped out, confusion in his eyes. The audience erupted in applause as Ayan rushed forward and embraced him. "My father drove this car day and night," Ayan said, voice trembling. "He gave up his dreams so I could chase mine. Every dent on this car is a story of sacrifice." Raymond's face turned pale. The cameras caught his stunned silence. Ayan noticed him standing awkwardly nearby. "And this," he said with a kind smile, "is what success really looks like. It's not about wealth. It's about worth." Raymond lowered his head. For the first time, he had no words. The laughter, the arrogance, all of it seemed small. Imran simply smiled at him, offering a handshake. "No hard feelings, sir," he said. We all learn differently. The billionaire took his hand, humbled. The crowd clapped again, not for money, but for character. That day, Raymond didn't leave with applause. He left with a lesson, because kindness costs nothing, but its value is immeasurable, because humility is the language every heart understands, and because sometimes the ones you look down on are the very reason others rise. Never judge a person by their clothes, their car, or their wallet. Judge them by their heart. Final CTA, emotional end. If this story touched your heart, share it with someone who needs a reminder that success means nothing without kindness. Subscribe to Kindness Valley for more real-life stories that prove the world is still full of good people.